Hello and welcome to another Omegon Threads video. In this video I will show you how to paint the Omegon Threads lightning effect. This is a key effect to make this Alpha Legion magic happen. So all you need is a painted miniature and some colors and you're ready to start. So first you will need a fully painted model. That's quite important because we will paint over your existing paint job.
I love to paint.
Oh, really?
I love to paint.
Oh, wow. Are you any good?
I don't know.
Of course not.
As the lightning effect separates the two parts, that's quite important that you painted everything to the end except the lightning effect. So I chose the model of Volker, better known as Cap H Mini Painting. I will put a link into the description to his Instagram profile and me. We painted this miniature up for the Nova Charity raffle in this autumn, and you can still win this miniature by buying raffle tickets until the 11th of December, I think. So grab your chance to get this model, and we will use this model to paint the lightning effect, and I will show you how. So for the next step you will need following colors. I will put them up here and also put some alternative colors down in the description below. I will probably mention them in the tutorial. I'll use some monument colors and some Citadel colors. So the first color will be Kantor Blue. We will use that color for a rough lightning line, and in the next step we will paint in the middle of that rough line with monument blue, but you can also use the Citadel color I put into the description. And after that we paint a thin line of white scar, and where we first paint a real lightning, and then we will use monument sky blue to merge it all together, and after that we will use Ceramite white to get that lightning effect back. So let's start with Kantor Blue, and everything you need to know I will show you in a quick rundown on a base I have here, so you will get all you need to know, or everything that's important, before you start painting the lightning effect on your actual model. So just paint a rough line of Kantor Blue where both of the model parts meet each other, and you don't have to be very neat, just paint a rough line and you already can paint some arms spreading out of this middle line. And after that we're using monument blue to paint in the middle of that line, so you have to be a little bit neater, and you can then just add more arms or paint over the arms, lightning arms you painted with Kantor Blue, and just paint like little stripes at once, so you will get that lightning spirit all over the lightning you're about to paint. So as a quick tip for painting lightning effect like this, you can just make like short lines with your brush and alternate the direction of your brush to match another direction. So if you just make these small lines, it would be much easier to paint the lightning arms and the lightning effect as a whole, compared to make it in one line. And the last step on that base tutorial, we're using white scar and do even neater lines than before with the Monument Blue. So it's the same principle. You're making very small straight lines in different directions and just paint in the middle of the Monument Blue. So go on every lightning arm you painted before and paint some little very thin lines of white scar, and then you can also break out of that pattern and just make like little lightning arms outside of the Kantor Blue and Monument Blue you painted before. As you can see, this effect painted like this is already a very good looking lightning effect you can use on Night Lord armor or on a cloak of an eliminator and stuff like this. You can enhance the glow of the lightning effect by adding more white, and then you should be on a good way to finish your lightning line. And we will also use this technique on the head, and we'll skip the airbrush or dry brushing step on this. So let's start with Kantor Blue. So before starting with Kantor Blue, just check your model you've painted and see where the lightning line should go. Like on this model, I want to separate these two parts on the chest, which are very obvious. On the back, it's a little more complicated to paint the lightning effect, as I merged down a lot of bits on this. But let's start with Kantor Blue. As I said before, when we were painting the base, you don't have to be very neat, just paint in the middle of the model where the two parts meet and try to imitate a lightning line by just give the little lines you're painting a little direction. And if you want to make the whole effect appear moving from one side to another, you just can paint more lightning arms on one side. I want the lightning effect to reveal the Alpha Legion side, so I will paint more arms on the Alpha Legion side and not on the Loyal side. Now we will paint in the middle of that line we just painted with Kantor Blue by using Monument Blue.
What does this one?
It's a blue light.
What does it do?
Turns blue.
So as on the base before, we are now painting Monument Blue. In the middle of the Kantor Blue line we painted before, make sure it's dry so the colors won't mix. And just be a little bit neat when you're painting in the middle of the Kantor Blue line and try to imitate the movement of a lightning effect by making, again, small little lines and alter the direction a little bit. If you make mistakes now, that's not very bad, because we're getting over this effect with some dry brushing. If you want to avoid dry brushing or airbrushing, you have to be as neat as possible. With this step done, we will add a very neat line of white scar, and if you're done with this lightning line, you will be able to choose if you want to use an airbrush, as we do in this video, or you want to dry brush this step. So we will now paint inside the monument blue we painted before, and as you can see here, I make very neat lines. Take an extra small brush for this. I took a Winsor Newton, I think it's a 000 brush, so very small, to make a very neat line. Keep your back of the brush quite wet, so the white paint will flow, but don't keep it too wet, so it will move in all the recesses. And then paint in the middle of the monument blue line and make some arms right and left. But if you want to make a kind of move, or that the lightning appears to move, concentrate on one side for the lightning arms, so it appears to move from one side to another. Now you already have some kind of lightning effect. We will just enhance this effect by adding Monument Sky Blue with an airbrush or dry brushing, but if you don't want to make this step, you can also quit here.
What's the matter? Scared of a little lightning?
I'm not overly fond of what follows.
And maybe add some sky blue lightning arms to your already existing lightning effect, and skip the next steps. So if you just want to add a thin line of a lightning effect, like we do on the head, because if we would use the airbrush or the dry brush on these very little parts, we would ruin the whole paint job, because we can't be that neat with a dry brush, and I can't be that neat with an airbrush too. So you can quit with this step, but if you want to make the lightning effect really stand out, you should go for the next steps. So if you want to use the lightning effect for a Night Lord armor, or as we do here on the head, where dry brushing would ruin a big part of our paint job, you can also skip the airbrushing or dry brushing step and just paint with Monument Sky Blue little arms on the left or right side of the paint lightning effect to make it appear more glowy than it actually is. If you do want to use the airbrush or dry brushing technique to merge this lightning effect a little bit down and add another highlight of Ceramite white, you can just ignore that part, but I recommend it for small bits like heads and stuff like this. So if you want to use an airbrush, just go with this thinned sky blue over all the lines we painted before to merge them a little bit and imitate a glow. We can also use a dry brush for this step, but I really recommend using an airbrush as it looks a lot smoother. If you're using a dry brush, just go over the painted lightning line and just dry brush from left to right to get the sides of the lightning effect highlighted. In the final step, we will add very thin line of Ceramite white. So as you can see, the airbrush just merged the colors together, and we want to paint a little white line over the merged colors. So again, I take an extra small brush, and I want to be very, very, very neat. I will go in different directions, as I told you when we were painting the base. So I will just make very, very little lines and alter the direction as often as I can, and try to paint over the lines we painted before, which shines through our airbrush or dry brush work, so I can still see them, and you can just add more arms to the side, which is uncloaking, and so you can go through all of your previously painted line which you merged with a dry brush or with the airbrush, and just highlight it again, so that makes it really pop, while the previous paint job just shows through. So just be very neat with this step, and try to make very, very short lines to make the lightning effect like crackle around the armor. So with this step complete, you have a very recognizable way of distinguish your Alpha Legion, or separate the Alpha Legion from another loyal or traitor chapter. If you painted this effect on your miniature, you will see that you can also use this for Night Lord armor, or for a cloak of an Eliminator, which turns into the color of the base, or for a Tau state suit, or I don't know. It's very, very variable, so it's not only usable for the Alpha Legion. If you use it for your Alpha Legion, please use the hashtag Omegon thread, and also maybe tag me in the picture if you post it on Instagram or Facebook or stuff like this, so I can see it. And if you like this tutorial, please give me a comment below, and tell me also what you want to see next in our tutorial series. And if you don't want to miss any video showcase tutorial or stuff like this I will upload here, please subscribe, and I think there's a bell button. I'm not used to YouTube, but if there is, just click the bell button so you will get a notification of any new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see us next time for another video. I will also upload a little showcase video of this miniature full color me painted for the Nova charity, and remember, you can all you can win it until the 11th of December. So see you next time.